Oba, around this time last year, you missed a late golden opportunity to put your side through to the last 16. Tonight, you took that opportunity. Tell me what it feels like and the contrast of emotions to know that you are through to the last 16.
Yeah, I think everyone is happy tonight, and definitely I had this in my head, but this is what gives me power every day. Take the error from the past and transform it to strength. And tonight I'm really happy that we won the game.
It was such an impressive comeback, so much character, but you did it the hard way.
Yes, definitely. I think.
Get the right result tonight. 3-2 Arsenal winning in Athens. 2 goals
Yeah.
for Pierre-Emerick
So.
or Aubameyang. We can hear from him now.
But I think the team showed character, a lot of character, and I think we deserved the win. It was a hard game, but tonight really happy for all the team. What we showed tonight, I think it's going to be an example for the future.
It did change everything in the 87th minute. Aubameyang's second goal of this evening to send the Gunners through to the round of 16. Karen and Martin still with me. They did it the hard way tonight, Arsenal, Karen.
I know, it was very nervy, but credit to them, the character, and I think the substitutes made a difference as well. But and Aubameyang stepped up, the captain, the leader, when you needed him to. He delivered on the night, and Saka as well. There was key moments. Tini got the goal going, got the team energised, but they really got going then. I think that goal really set them on their way, but mistakes started to cost them, but they got through somehow.
It felt like they were heading out, Martin, on the away goals rule, which would have been a heartbreaker for them, especially given that they were playing in Athens tonight.
Yeah, a set of mistakes. If you look at both ties overall, the penalty we give away, the free kick, and then Ceballos with that inconceivable header back to his own goal. And you've got to learn from this, because you wonder, should Ceballos be the deep line midfield player anyway? If they've got a corner and everyone's gone up, why is he even there? Because we've seen defensively it's not his strong suit. He's someone who's creative, he can play with the ball. So that's going to have to be looked at. Of course, he was taken off straight away. I was worried when Willian came on. 26 appearances and only 2 shots at goal.
You probably weren't the only one as well when they saw that substitution being made, Martin. But did he redeem himself a bit tonight in the eyes of the Arsenal fans?
We can call it an assist to Tierney, but Tierney did everything after that, didn't he? And that's the sort of player that you want to breed. You want characters going forward. Who are the players you can look at and say, OK, come of the hour, come of the man. We had 2 of them tonight, or 3, really. Aubameyang with the finish, Saka with the provided cross. But Tierney started it with that goal, got us back into the game. And actually, a key moment in it was Leno, that he didn't get sent off when the player burst through. That was probably the beginning of us turning it around, as he did earlier in the season against Wolves when we went down to 9 men. So we're having to learn quickly on our feet, but we might actually come out of this much stronger for having gone through this tonight. In the end, they showed a great deal of character to get through.
And Saka, so key for them again tonight, Karen. It started really well for them. It was Aubameyang with the first goal, but it was all about Saka's vision.
Yeah, it is. And the whole game, Arsenal just needed to threat in behind. Look, it's a great run from Aubameyang. There's the gap. And you've got the player in Saka to deliver that pass. It's a fantastic finish. The goalkeeper commits himself, and Aubameyang just dinks it over the top. Margins, onside, offside, doesn't matter. It was a goal. And
so tight, but
that's the way it is. And some get given, some don't. But Arsenal will be just happy that they got that goal. And like I said, to exploit that back line, that was a threat the whole game. In behind. It did change the second half though, because Benfica dropped. But that's ludicrous. 2 minutes before half time. At this level now, a set play like that, it's like a penalty. People are that good, unopposed. They can just put it in the top corner. And Ceballos, to do that right before the half-time, in an area around the 18-yard box, it's criminal. And those are the mistakes that cost you. And then the same mistakes then happen in the second half as well. And, Arsenal, you just have to go... Ceballos isn't a young player either. He's an experienced player. You cannot do that.
You've already mentioned it, Martin. He had a nightmare, Ceballos, didn't he, for the second goal for Benfica?
Well, you hope he can come back from it, but I would argue as to why... he's sitting there on the edge of the box, isn't he? And he's dealing with the forward run, and he's got a pivotal role there. and he's looking around him, and I think he can actually see the player running through, but for some reason he actually heads it back to his keeper, and thankfully for Leno, we don't go down to 10 men at this point. Look, he's looking at the player, so I'm not sure where he thinks he ends up. And there's not enough weight on that to get back to the goalkeeper anyway. Leno, thankfully, doesn't dive in, and we live to fight another day. But at that point, it was really looking bad for Arsenal. And I say, you start looking at futures, you start looking at where they are in the league table, and their season was pretty well over at that point.
What did you like about Willian's role that you played in Tierney's goal, Karen?
I thought what he did was he got in 1v1 situations. He actually then came in field, and Tierney then pushed on as well. So it actually became 2v1s down the side. And it made Benfica go back to that back five. And I thought he'd just come on, he gave a bit of energy. At this point, they needed 1v1 situations, crafty players. And you see it in this instance now. He gets down the side, and this is where Arsenal needed to get the penetrating passes from. Finds out a pass. Look, fantastic feet from Tierney, and a brilliant finish. But I like Willian. His confidence has been low. He picks out the pass. Tierney, who's been Arsenal's most consistent player, best player at times, really missed him when he was out. He got them going, and I think you see the celebration from Tierney. Get forward, come on, let's get back. Because that was a moment where you had to fight for your season. It's like, right, Arsenal, come on, let's see the players step up. You're up against it now, and we need big players and big moments to step up and get us through.
We give Saka so much credit all the time, but just how influential has Tierney been for Arsenal
he's
this
been
season?
immense. And you just saw the way that he was waving his tee on. That's the sort of symbolism we want going forward. You want that player, who really wants to drive the team on.
Urgency,
Yeah,
Martin.
not going to stand back and let somebody else do it. No, he's going to take charge of his own destiny. And really the course of history has just changed there in a moment, and you can do it. And it is in your own hands, and he proved it there. But he's got to keep doing that, and we've got to keep him fit. Of course, he's plus played 90 minutes back-to-back. Big game coming up at the weekend, the big journey home. So, they've got to keep this momentum going, though.
And you just knew, Martin, if they were going to go through, Saka would be involved somehow.
Oh, yeah, this young man, I did say, I wasn't happy seeing Smith Rowe go off, by the way. I'm going to say it again, but at least he was on Saka, and look at this for a probing pass. And Aubameyang, to credit him, to stay on side, because he's got to wait for his moment, just steps inside and whips it to that back post.
Martin, I think what Saka does really well is it's probably, one of the first times he gets himself in the penalty area and he gets in a 1v1, like there. Double little step over, a bit of trickery. When you get in the penalty area, everyone's petrified. And especially with him, with his skill and his pace, he gets himself in that one situation and then puts the ball on the money. And it was a fantastic cross and a fantastic
And he
finish.
asks questions, though, and this is what I want from Willian. Run with the ball and test yourself. It's hard, it's demanding physically to run at someone. Don't just keep coming back and passing it to someone else. No, we've brought you here to make the difference. But Saka isn't going to wait for anybody. He wants to ask questions. And that's why he keeps creating all these assists. And we need it from both sides. So the manager, this might be the making of Willian tonight. And you say that about a player who's really senior. But he's been a bit gloomy since he's been there. It's all down for him. But this is a big moment now. He's just come on. He's been a part of the success. And hopefully he can perform better going forward.
He's just been so impressive, Saka. Do you think they should just hand him the Player of the Season award already, Martin?
Saka? Well, not really, no. I want him to keep hitting new targets, to do it with Smith Rowe. We're all Arsenal fans watching, and sometimes the decisions that he made, it was difficult for Arsenal. Actually, it seemed to get worse for Arsenal for a time, but actually with Aubameyang on the pitch, and we got our Aubameyang back again tonight, that was the one that we know that is there. He went missing for a little while, but he now needs to focus in for the rest of the season, because if Arsenal are going to redeem anything this season, he's got to be continuing to score goals like that in important moments.
Yeah, he delivers for them repeatedly in the cup competitions, though, doesn't he? So the fact he's got the goals tonight, he can really kick on from that in this competition, you feel?
Absolutely. He's there when it counts, and he's a big player and a really, really important player. It's no coincidence that when he scores and plays well, so do Arsenal. So he needs to keep doing it. He needs to stay fit as well, all of them. I think it helps, though, when he's got other creative players, so it's not just all on him. Saka's getting involved, Willian's getting involved. Everyone needs to chip in. It just can't be reliant on him.
Saka is the most used outfield player, though, Martin, for them in the Premier League and Europa League. Do they have to be a bit careful with managing his minutes? It's hard, isn't it? Because it's hard to leave him out at the moment.
They do, but the position that Arsenal find themselves in, it's about starting your best players, not bringing them on to rescue you in matches. You need to start with these guys and then make the necessary changes when you've won the game, because that's what you're hoping to do. But again, now the next one's Leicester, but Arsenal need to pick up some points. I suggest he's going to have to play Saka once more. Tierney again will have to play. But, you know, Ødegaard now, what is the answer? Pepe's just sat on the bench all night. Do you bring fresh legs? Does Willian start the game? So there's a few questions for the manager. But I think the defence now is starting to look fairly strong and compact. I don't expect that to change too much.
What did you think of Ødegaard's contribution tonight, Karen?
I liked it. I know Martin thinks different, but I think the first half he was trying to get in pockets down the sides. And I think as then Benfica dropped into back five, he then started to get more on the ball. I think he needs players to stretch the play so he can get on it. He's not going to be someone that dribbles and drives like Smith Rowe does when he plays in that position. He's a passer and he sees passes. So you have to probably use him wisely against the opposition that they come up against. At times you would want to see him running behind, but that's not his strength. So I think perhaps using Smith Rowe and Ødegaard according to the opponents that you play against and what you need for that team, that's how I would use them both in that 10 role.
You prefer Smith Rowe there, though, Martin. You don't want him to see him pushed out onto that left-hand side.
I want Smith Rowe in the middle, and I'd like to see Lacazette play in front and Aubameyang from the side. They're only starting positions. You know, we watched the Man City team play last night with Cancelo at left back, but he played in midfield. So Aubameyang can be on the left, but end up in the middle. But it's all opinions. It's all opinions, and what I've seen over the last couple of seasons, I do feel that Smith Rowe has brought something quite special to the team, both pressing and with his creativity. I'm not seeing that with Ødegaard at the moment, but you know, I'm not the manager, so let's support the manager. He's got options, hasn't he? But Smith Rowe was taken off far too early in this game for me. I didn't quite understand that concept of taking him off. I would have been building with him in a central position, but in the end, the manager gets the right result. So he's the one that's right. And we're happy with that. But looking forward, you know, there's some big decisions to make. Because if Arsenal are going to be successful and climb up the table, he's got to work out his best 11 now. We're close to it. We are very close to it now, Partey being fit. And that's going to be the team that takes Arsenal forward. So put them in the right positions.
Yeah.